Around the world tonight, millions of people are preparing to change their clocks once again as the annual switch to daylight saving time returns in 2026. For some, it's a simple reminder to move the clock forward by 1 hour. But for others, the change sparks a growing debate about whether this century-old system still makes sense in modern life. As the clocks shift and mornings grow darker, the question many people are asking is simple. Why do we still do this, and will it finally come to an end? Daylight saving time, often called DST, is the practice of moving clocks forward during warmer months so that evenings have more daylight while mornings start later. In most countries that observe it, clocks move forward in the spring and back again in the fall. In 2026, the shift will once again affect millions of households across North America and parts of Europe, where people will spring forward by 1 hour in March and fall back later in the year. The concept dates back more than a century. During the early 1900s, several countries adopted daylight saving time as a way to conserve energy by reducing the need for artificial lighting in the evenings. It became especially widespread during the two world wars, when governments believed shifting daylight hours could help reduce electricity consumption and support wartime production. Over time, many nations kept the system in place, even as the original reasons for it became less clear. In the United States and Canada, the clocks typically move forward on the second Sunday in March and move back on the first Sunday in November. That means in 2026, people across much of North America will once again lose an hour of sleep in March when clocks jump ahead at AM, instantly becoming AM. While it may seem like a small change, experts say that 1 hour can have noticeable effects on sleep patterns, productivity, and even health. Medical researchers have increasingly warned that sudden time shifts can disrupt the body's natural circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates sleep and wake cycles. Studies have linked the springtime change to temporary increases in fatigue, workplace accidents, and even heart-related health risks in the days immediately following the shift. Because of these concerns, some health experts have called for the practice to be abolished entirely. At the same time, supporters of daylight saving time argue that longer evening daylight can bring real benefits. Retail businesses, restaurants, and tourism industries often see increased activity when people have more daylight after work. Outdoor sports leagues, parks, and community events also benefit from brighter evenings, which can encourage more people to spend time outside. Still, the debate has intensified in recent years. Several governments around the world have begun questioning whether the twice-a-year clock change is still necessary in an era of modern energy systems and flexible work schedules. In Europe, the European Union has discussed ending the seasonal clock change altogether, although member countries have yet to reach a final agreement on how that transition would work. In the United States, lawmakers have also debated legislation that would make daylight saving time permanent. The idea gained significant attention when the U.S. Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act in 2022, a proposal that would eliminate the fall clock change and keep the country on daylight time year-round. However, the measure stalled in the House of Representatives, leaving the traditional system in place for now. Public opinion remains divided. Some people prefer permanent daylight time because they enjoy longer evenings and outdoor activities after work. Others argue that permanent standard time would be healthier, allowing for brighter mornings and more natural alignment with the body's internal clock. Surveys show that while many people dislike changing their clocks twice a year, they disagree about which system should replace it. Technology has also changed how people experience the time shift. In the past, households had two manually reset wall clocks, watches, and appliances. Today, most smartphones, computers, and connected devices automatically update themselves when the time change occurs. Still, the adjustment period remains noticeable, especially for workers with early morning schedules or families with young children. Businesses and transportation systems also need to coordinate carefully during the transition. Airlines, rail networks, and global financial markets rely on precise timing, meaning even a 1-hour shift requires careful planning to prevent scheduling errors or disruptions. Looking ahead, the future of daylight saving time remains uncertain. While the system continues in 2026, political discussions about reform are likely to continue in many countries. As scientific research, public opinion, and economic considerations evolve, governments may eventually decide whether to keep the system, modify it, or abandon it entirely. For now, though, the familiar ritual continues. As millions of clocks move forward this year, people will once again adjust their schedules, their sleep, and their routines, if only by 1 hour. Whether it's welcomed for brighter evenings or criticized for disrupting daily life, daylight saving time remains one of the most widely experienced annual changes across the modern world. And as the debate continues, one thing is certain: the conversation about the future of daylight saving time is far from over.